Amanda, are you a tortoise or are you a hare?
Look, I am hare energy. Let's be real. I can't do anything slowly. I'm bad at slow. It frustrates me. Also, I respect the tortoise, but we're going to talk more about that, aren't we?
We are, yes.
What are you,
Uh,
Avon?
I would say I'm more maybe mentally the hare, but then I
Yes.
know that I'm probably realistically the tortoise. Like there's times people go, "Oh, you should do this." I'm like, "Yes, but I'm gonna have to like have multiple conversations with people. Gonna have to shift resources, spend time thinking about it, then
Yeah.
plan the thing, and then actually do the thing." So yeah, I guess I'm probably the tortoise. And I think maybe we have to be different things at different times in
Yeah.
our business lives. And one of the reasons we sort of had this conversation is that, you know, I, I was talking to someone the other day, and um, I, I try to get a lot of things done quickly, and sometimes, now we get to a certain point, I need to, just move more stuff and people to get anything done. So it
Mm-hmm.
takes longer. Like I have to go and have several conversations. I have to, look at how available they are. I have to take them off this task and put them on that task. So it's not always as easy as snap your fingers and get it done. And I think as a business grows, you become more tortoise than hare. And like a little bit inside me is like, oh well, why haven't I 10x yet? And maybe like I have since when I was very small business, when just one person. But now when I'm got like 30 staff, it's a bit harder to 10x at that point. Like
Yes.
it's a big deal. And every time you add a new customer, you might add uh like when you're small, that'd be like 20% of your revenue, or some big percentage. But now you add a new customer, it's like less than 1% of your revenue. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like if Telstra lost 1,000 customers tomorrow, do you know what they would do?
Not much.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah, yeah, they'll be
Wouldn't
like,
even
well,
make it on a report. Like who?
let's
Like
run
who
another
cares?
ad.
Says Telstra.
Yeah, let's run another offer. Like it's not a big
Exactly.
deal.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you're small, everything is like extreme. But as you start to get a bit bigger, it's just another day. So it feels
Yeah.
like you're not going as fast. Like yes, we have a great growth rate. We're at like 30% growth rate, which is really healthy. I think I asked ChatGPT to benchmark me. 10% growth rate is eh. 20% is pretty good. 30% is really good, and 40%
Nice.
is holy shit. Like
Yeah.
at that
Cool.
point and beyond, now you have to hire so fast. You don't know whether or not you need those staff. You have to hire ahead of time, thinking about what you think your required growth rate will be at a certain point in the future. Now we do have a couple of people saying hi.
Hello.
Uh,
Hello.
so yeah, like if you've got such a growth rate that you are sort of unable to keep up, that's not a good thing. That's actually going to hurt you more than help you. So
That's mm.
so looking at my growth, I feel like the tortoise, but we're probably realistically the hare. So what about you? How do you feel at the moment?
So for me, I can never go fast enough. So as much as I exude hair energy, it has been my undoing because I will chase shiny objects rather
Mm,
than stay in my lane and get really, really good at something. And something that we have done recently is really double down on one particular thing, get really, really good at it, and just focus on that. And that has been challenging and rewarding. So I think something for me, so tortoise energy when it comes to doubling down on the daily, weekly, monthly things that need to happen. And
mm,
then how can you be the hare to 10x that, to borrow your language from earlier? How do we put hair energy behind the things that will help us to grow without breaking things in the process?
mm. Well, like you need to be able to, because at a certain point you've got to move a lot of people and resources. So You don't
Yes.
want to be the hare, because then everyone's going to be scattered and no one's really going to know what they're doing. But like, if you could set people on a path to steadily march towards the goal, you'll get there. Now, all of this came because I had a thought, and then I posted it into the Relevate community, and we had a couple of responses. You were one of them. But yeah, basically, you get to a point where you're growing. Something inside you always wants to run faster, jump higher, and then do it 10 times faster. But the risk is that you go and do something wild and crazy, that you completely flip things upside down and you break what's already working.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I guess some things that we've done that have grown us, acquiring another business, it's a hell of a lot of work. It doesn't always go to plan.
Yeah.
It costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
And sometimes, unless you've got a lot of good capital behind you, sometimes it can actually, you don't want to go bankrupt. You don't want to, create some kind of like HR issue, then get sued, or, there's a bit of risk in going and doing moves like that, unless you're geared towards that being your growth model and you have advisors in there that can help you. And then that's just, you're not growing unless you're buying 10 businesses a week. That's the point at which, that makes sense to do that. Guerrilla marketing, yes, marketing could be good, but it doesn't always move as fast as what you want. Like, you can pump thousands of dollars into advertising and various marketing, and it will help. But again, it's just going to uptick your growth rate, but it's not going to feel like growth because you're spending so much on marketing. So
that's right.
I do think there is a healthy level of marketing that you need to do anyway. You should be looking at 10% of your revenue on marketing. And then, trying to invent some new product, which, can be good, but at the same token, can also take your eyes off the goal of what's working, can slow you down and refocus you elsewhere. So like, you then stop paying attention to your customers that are happy with you and are now looking elsewhere, that took so long to acquire, that maybe you should just sit down, shut up, and do what you're doing more, right?
Exactly. Don't undo all of the hard work that you've already done.
Yeah. So, I put this out to the community, and, you said you've been the hare too many times, double down on what's already working instead of shiny objects. But, you say to me now, you exude hare energy. And I know that's why I have you on this show, because you balance me out. I'm boring, you're interesting, and somewhere in the middle, we're both a good
He lies, friends. He lies.
So, and then, yes, you could try new things. And you're right, you need like an experimentation budget, whether that's financially, whether that's with your time, with your team's time. I think there's a healthy component, like having an advertising budget. You should be having an R&D budget.
Absolutely. And we, in the team, we always talk about, today, are we on a mission or are we on an adventure? Adventures are when we're experimenting or trying something, or a new system or a new process, or it could be a new product. Mission is business as usual. And that's what most of our energy and time should be dedicated towards.
Yeah. And then, we have Richard here, and he said, obviously the question is a bit bigger, and so we decided to delve in here. But one of the things is, he said he wants to go down the tall hare route. So do things that are a little bit fast, and do things that are a little bit controlled at the same time. So quietly determined, a tad more speed than a tortoise, won't burn out like the hare, inner strength to play the long game, and confidently get there without the drama of the jumping jack rabbit. I do like the framing of that. I do think that is a valiant goal. Well done.
Beautifully said.
Love the question. Resources could also come into play. Overnight success that took 10 years. Now, we took your idea, Richard, and we made the tall hare. So
look at it. It's fabulous.
But do you want to be a hare body with a tortoise head? Does that make you slow and wise? Or do you, like, I would say at that point, you run too fast for you to actually think, and then you probably crash into something.
This is valid.
If you go the other way, you think like the hare, but you move like the tortoise. Well, who's to say that the tortoise doesn't already think quite deeply about things?
Exactly.
So you might just drive yourself crazy if you think like the hare but move like the tortoise.
This is true.
Is there a slightly better half combination? I don't know. I did like that we used the nano banana to produce this one. Thank you, Amanda.
Look, when you can't say it, AI it, right?
That's it. Yeah. But, like, as we were saying before, is that, like, there, and to benchmark myself, 30% growth rate is actually really, really good. It's not crazy. It's not slow. But, like, if you then extrapolate that out, I then asked, ChatGPT, how long would it take me to get to 20 million revenue? And it's like, 10 years. So maybe I don't want to, being the tortoise is not about not acquiring. It's not about not building products. It's not about not, doing some hefty marketing. Maybe it's more about, let's do some things that are a little bit more controlled, think through them a little bit more, take some measured moves that are a little bit risky, and be that tall hare. And that's how you will get to epic growth.
Intentional moves. Yes. Very good.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're always short and scrappy, and coming up with a problem, going off in another direction, going, that didn't work, and then just wasting time, and then you will end up going slower anyway. So it doesn't help growth. So I guess if there's anyone out there, we have had a few people comment hello and are watching. So thank you very much. Is there anything question-wise that the audience has around, maybe the framing or a problem around how you found your own situation, whether you feel like you're going fast or you feel like you're going slow? Like, I would say for us, we're doing big deals, but they're still a smaller percentage. So we feel like if we were doing sales we were doing now when we were like 1 or 2 people, we'd go, holy crap, we're about to explode. We cannot handle this. Now we're like, all right, well, we've got a plan. We know we need to hire another 2 people in the next week, and then another 2 people, the month after that. And then progressively we're going to get up there. And then we go at a certain point, all right, well, now we need a HR person. Now we need some more support people. Now we need something else. And that pipeline of getting those up, if I got another 100 customers tomorrow, I would explode.
Right. And that's not an ideal problem to have at that speed. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is still a too fast for me now, even though that we're getting bigger. And I think that, maybe that 30% growth rate, that just looks at revenue, but in that could be, how do we make more costs? So it's cost savings. So it's not purely a revenue growth. It's a EBITDA growth, which is actually
different play, right?
Well, if you ever want to sell, you sell based on EBIT. And if you get a 4 times multiple or a 6 times multiple or a 10 times multiple, really depends on how strong your EBIT is and how much work people have to do to run your business for you.
Yes, exactly. Let me throw a question to you, Avon. So we talk about, often people will come to just off the back of what you were saying, people will come to the table and say, I need to go faster. How do I get more leads, get more calls, whatever it might be? What happens if you do end up in that situation where 100 new customers landed in your lap? I mean, it could happen. Maybe you have a really solid marketing campaign that you didn't expect to blow up. What do you do in that situation?
Well, if you have the power of choice, first thing I would be doing is drastically upping my price, right?
Yeah, okay. Good call.
Price is a speed limiter, right? If you've got too much on your plate, increase the price dramatically. And then if they say yes, well, hey, great, you factored in that you maybe need to hire someone, or you factored in that short amount of pain is worth it. So if you don't up your price at that exact moment, then you're going to take you're going to break yourself basically, and you might lose money, because at a larger scale, it costs more to deliver, right? So I've got wages to pay, I've got, more rent to pay. And so I can, we deliver a good product. Yeah, there's the small time dude on the street corner that you can go to, but we're often coming in fixing their mistakes. Or when your business is bigger and it's more high risk, you don't want to go to Johnny come lately. You want to go to someone who knows what they're doing. It's not going to stuff it up.
Absolutely, absolutely. And on that, so do you? Okay, so I've got 100 people or 100 clients that have landed in my lap. Do
Yeah.
I like? I can't charge them more yet, right? Like, how does that work? Is it the next 100 that come in? The price is
Well,
increased.
what you might do is just say, look, I'm in extremely high demand right now. If
Yeah,
you would
yeah.
like to go ahead, I need to charge you this much, and you have that conversation. And what you might also say is, could you schedule those people out? Could you say, look, yes, or maybe get them to fill out a questionnaire to show who are the ones that are more higher intent. You know, you don't want someone to go, yes, I want to be your customer, but then have them kick the tires, pull it apart, and start being painful. You need to minimize those slow conversations and say, how do I, find the best ones? Maybe go give them a little questionnaire, or like interview them, like, why
Yeah,
should you get to work with me? And then
yeah.
on
Screen
top of
them
that,
out.
go, look, it's going to be this much, and if you're really interested and you really want my service, I can serve you next month. Are you okay to wait by then? Wait till
Yeah,
then. Like,
book them in advance. Yeah,
of the 100, you're either going to screen them out, charge them more, or schedule them out as well, or a
perfect.
combination of all three.
Amazing, amazing.
Mm.
So we can deal with it. There's ways. There's ways. Don't
Yeah.
panic. Don't go all hare. Tortoise time.
Yeah, well, that's I guess tortoise mentality,
Mm.
because of the 100, rather than sitting there panicking trying to serve everybody, you just zoom out a little bit and go, what do we need? We need more money to deliver, to hire more people. We need more time to deliver. So let's have a conversation about spreading them out. And if they don't buy now, put them on a wait list for later. Like, you can say, all right, well, I'm busy right now. I'm worth the wait. Come and see me again next month, and then you'll have a better chance at getting into the pipeline. Like, create scarcity is a good thing, right? Demand and supply. If you're only able to supply a certain amount of things and you have a very high demand, that dictates the price.
Absolutely, absolutely. Awesome work. I
Well,
think we've done a good job there.
I think we have, yes. So I would like to know, if you are listening, whether you are the tortoise or the hare. So please comment on the post. Please, let us know, perhaps in the Relevate community. So we have
Yes.
the online community, which you saw on the screen. We talked through, one of the questions that we had, some of the responses, and you can see there's a heap of other like courses and materials there to help you along. So if you're stuck, let us know, and we'll talk it out, whether it's on one in the portal itself or on one of these live streams. Let us know your questions. We can help where we can. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
stay classy.
Indeed. Catch you next time.